Hi everybody, welcome to the semi-finals of the Dutch StarCraft League. We're finally here, so can I get a cheer from the audience for some StarCraft? Yes. All right. You may have noticed that people are very enthusiastic. That has to do with the fact that we're now finally in the big room for StarCraft, which is where we should be, like the queen of esports, or king. I don't know. I don't want to be sexist. We're ready to go into semi-final number 1 between Harstem and Optimus. You can see them right over here. There's Kevin sitting ready to play his match, fiddling with stuff. There's Optimus, always being the IT professional, setting up some white noise for himself. I'm told that the vetoes have been done, the maps are ready, the casters are sitting, you can take a shot of that as well. There's Wardy and Wyman sitting ready to cast the games for you. All right. I don't have anything much else to say except thank the sponsors, and I will do that extensively at the end of the broadcast. So thank you very much for all the people who made this possible. I'm going to give it over to the casters. Have fun watching the semifinals and finals, back-to-back StarCraft, with a little hint of science in between. So have fun. Take it away.
All right. Thank you, Frank. Hello, everyone. I'm Wyman. With me is Wardy. Wardy, how are you doing?
Pretty fantastic. Anytime we've got a room full of StarCraft fans, it's always a good day to be around.
Yeah, we're looking at quite the semi-final between 2 Dutch players here at the DSCL Open Finals. During the qualifiers, it looked like we weren't going to see a lot of Dutch people here at this event in the first place because, well, of course, we had Harstem and New Thermal who were invited. But through the qualifiers, it was mostly non-Dutch players who managed to qualify and represent here. And well, actually, we have 3 Dutch players in the top 4.
I mean, even through the group stages today, it looked at points as though we weren't going to have many Dutch players either. Like, Harstem was down in games at certain points. Everyone was all over the place. Like, it was really kind of scary to watch if you were a Dutch player fan. So it's been a pretty intense day of StarCraft. Obviously, we've had a bit of a break, a bit of downtime while we waited for Hearthstone to finish up, or until we could kick them out without getting them too mad, you know. So we are ready. We're going to be going in games soon, I believe. We don't know how soon. We don't have it in front of us, but we've got a brilliant picture of us instead, so we can cast ourselves on the left-hand side of the screen. The one, the only, it's Wyman. Yeah.
And to my right, or to my left, but on the right side
on
of the
right,
screen.
Yeah.
It's the one and only Castorino, it's Wardy.
Yeah, so we'll hopefully be good to go here soon, guys. It's just going to be a few moments while we get set up into that first game of this best-of-5 semi-final. Obviously, 2 best-of-5 semi-finals. Grand finals will be best-of-7, as we have the potential for a couple of different stories here. Thermal could be back-to-back-to-back DSC League champion.
Yeah, let's not forget how he's been winning just about everything when it comes to the DSCL.
Yeah, exactly. And then Harstem was probably one of the most emotional victors of the DSC League at certain points. That time he won back in 2012, I want to say.
2013.
Yeah,
I remember being there. It was quite the final. Unfortunately, I wasn't there to cast the finals. I mean, I wasn't the one casting the finals. But being there and experiencing what it is for him to win a tournament like that in what was definitely his breakout year. I mean, in 2012, at the end of 2012, he decided to join Fnatic. And well, showed up and represented Fnatic at the DSCL finals in 2013 and performed admirably.
Yeah, then he casually just won a couple tournaments this year, GPL and Shanghai, and you know, just casually won Home Story Cup as well, as you do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, a couple of great stories there, but we could have maybe the first ever non-Dutch winner of the DSC League with Lillecannon. He's been playing really well today, some really interesting games. His series against Harstem earlier was super intense.
Oh man.
Or maybe a new Dutch champion. Optimus has had fantastic results as of late, been getting better and better, and he could really put up a fight here.
Yeah, seeing Optimus go all the way here would be pretty spectacular, I would say. He's currently the underdog in this best-of-4. I don't think anyone really expects him to win against, well, New Thermal, who is, of course, his, his mentor of sorts for many years. So yeah, I think we're just about ready to get into game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. We are starting to go into New Gettysburg. I'll do the introductions first. Here in the bottom left, we have the Red Protoss. He is Harstem.
Oh my god, a live crowd. Oh, there's the beautiful man himself. Looking rather... Oh, no. Optimus! Please. Yeah,
Will
look,
be fine.
Harstem knows what's up. He doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, that might be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate Optimus. What a guy.
At least he's honest. We're not that loud, are we?
Let's just whisper.
Yeah, it's going to be...
whisper to each other.
Quietest cast
Sweet
2016.
In each other's ears. Hey guys, welcome to the DSC League Grand Finals.
ASMR stream. All right, I think we'll get it fixed in no time because
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
got
yeah.
white noise and everything, so this should be.
Yeah, we should be able to. Can you imagine, like, they're like, oh, by the way, we can't, we can hear everyone. Hearthstone players have been like, shh, don't tell them. Hearthstone players have been known what's up all day, like. All right, so a few moments here, guys. I want to try and sort things out. Do get in touch on Twitter at DSC League. Let us know how hyped you are for the finals today, the semi-finals as well still. Again, obviously, sorry we had so much downtime in between the groups, but we had so many people around earlier watching. Go get the hype out, tweet about it, get on Reddit, tell everyone that the semi-finals are now live and the finals, and we've got some great players. I mean, Euthermal. I mean, look at how many champions have we got here. Like, Euthermal. Like, we got the Kings of China. IEM Shanghai, but won by
Oh yeah, he
Euthermal.
won that tournament, of course,
Kings
as
of
well.
Shanghai, like
Yeah.
Harstem won in Shanghai as well. GPL, the Gold Series earlier this year, WCS circuit event. The Kings of China are in town, so go tell everyone.
These guys are not just Dutch champions by
They
any
are
means, you
world
know.
champions at this
They
point.
were
Not quite
they-
world champions, but
well, international champions, so to speak.
there we go. You've
Yeah.
got the right words.
But
Compared
you're
to-
right. Let's, I want to see from people like how are they watching the DSCL, because last time I checked, we actually have quite a lot of viewers
Yeah.
on Twitch compared to what we mostly have with the DSC League. So if you could tweet us, pictures of how you're watching, like on your own,
Make
in
sure you
living
do it
room.
while we're on the screen, so we get a little bit of ego going for ourselves as well. Get those retweets. You know how it works, right? So yeah, we are just waiting for Optimus to get sorted out, and we'll be good to go again, hopefully sooner rather than later. First matchup's going to be a TVP. Now we saw some very interesting. Oh, we're back in.
Oh,
Perfect.
we're back. Great.
All right, I say we do the intros again right from the get-go. Yeah, okay, we didn't have to go back over the other side of the map, but we can. That's okay. No, don't go back again. Don't go back again. It's okay. All right, take us away once more, Wyman. Let's kick this off for real this time.
All right, here in the bottom left of Team Dead Pixels, he is the Red Protoss. He is Harstem. Oh, that's not Harstem.
Wow, Harstem changed in the last 2 minutes, man.
And this guy in the bottom right, he is the Blue Terran from AT Gaming. He is Optimus. That was the guy we just literally saw.
Shout out to our observer, who is going to be bringing us through these matches, through the semi-finals and finals. Hope he's having a good time. Don't forget to hit Control-Shift-S. It puts the score up. And now Control-Shift-5. Boom, best of 5.
Oh man,
Magic.
you're such a professional observer, Wardy. You're so good at this. It's
You
good you're
would
doing
hope
it.
so after all the times I've been.
I was gonna say it's good you're doing this full time.
Hey, observer, do you want to learn some more life hacks about the way things work? Press the first key, press number 1 on numpad. Let's see if this does anything. If it doesn't, then try turn numbers lock on and do it. Oh, graphs!
I love graphs.
Real life graphs. Boom, that might be useful.
Oh, this probe is
Alright.
actually gonna get taken out. So
Yes!
first blood has been spilled, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed it has. I mean, New Gettysburg, first map of this best of 5, it's a large one. I don't think Optimus is going to play mech like Lillican did earlier, because we had like a 25-minute game between Harstem and Lillican on this map, which was really quite ridiculous.
Well, that is an early factory though.
Yeah, I mean, in TVP, bio-based openings have not really been a thing for a very long time. Maybe on certain maps like CC first can kind of work into bio, but in general, just being able to mind drop, it gives you a lot of map control. You can get defense up early if you need it against the multiple Protoss openings that can work out. So there's a lot of different ways which this can happen.
Yeah, let's not forget Bjorn at, of course, BlizzCon, who had a spectacular build where he would open CC first on large maps and then proceed to just, make a lot of Marines. And he kept making Marines and he got a couple upgrades. And when he had medevacts, he would walk across the map and just kill his opponent with an endless stream of bio.
I mean, that's just beyond real, right?
Yeah,
like,
that was beyond.
And when you can micro better than anyone else on the planet, it's sort of like having a hack. So it's like, hey, you know what? I'll do what I want. I'll make it work because I just can.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Terran. If you're that good, you are definitely going to be winning engagements like that and playing as amazing as that.
Most definitely. All right, so very standard early game though. Like
Yeah.
Widow Mind Drop is going to be coming in from Optimus. That's super standard way to open up with. We also have that Robo Twilight coming in, which I feel as though is probably one of the most standard ways to
Yeah.
open in a PVT. Apart from maybe like a Stargate is pretty common as well. This is just going to be straight up Blink. Observers on the way out. Maybe
This
a
is-
Warp Prism to harass.
This
Very
is a
standard.
very typical Harstem-like build. Like, Harstem is definitely one of the bigger macro players in Protoss. I would say if you're playing against Harstem, you're pretty much guaranteed to get at least one macro game. And this is definitely the build he does a lot more often against Terran. And as a Protoss player, if you play a lot of macro, it's a pretty good idea to stick to a very good standard build. because you know you can keep nailing the execution. You know, you just know your timings, and right now Harstem knows he needs to have an observer between the bases on here, and I think he should have spotted this. Matter of fact, I didn't see him actually select the observer, but
he
come on.
sees it coming on the mini map, and what else is it going to be at this point of the game? Like he knows what timings are, and he's so well prepared. Like an extra gateway, warp gate just kicks in, so he warps in a couple of stalkers. His adepts are here. He's got observers too,
yeah,
so
he's perfectly prepared.
Actually really nice from Optimus. A lot of the time you'll see Terran players try to dive in and just try and get a probe kill. He's actually going to keep these mines alive, and even if he keeps them on the map, it's a threat that Harstem knows is there and has to keep paying attention to places, and maybe he catches Harstem off guard a little bit later on, so that he can drop in onto the mineral line, get a couple of probe kills.
So looking at Optimus' build right now, we see a Raven underway indeed. And this is very familiar to a build that Lillikin did earlier. Optimus has told me he knows this build as well. So what the build revolves around is basically staying on 2 base, cutting SCV production at 40, 45, 48, and just going for a big timing with just a lot of Marines, tanks, transitioning into Liberators if necessarily, but just try to kill your opponent. And it's been a good build so far. Like, I think Lillikin, he beat Harstem just once with it, straight up, because Harstem's build was too greedy. He was too late with his warp gates. And he, in the third game against Harstem, Lillikin did this build as well, but he did not win. But it was very close.
Yeah, it's the Raven adds a lot of kind of weird utility to PvT, because you think of it like a Raven, what are you going to do with that? Well, actually, Ravens are pretty broken right now. But in general, in PvT, the point defense drone has a super kind of big it's super useful because it soaks up the shots from adepts, stalkers, and in a kind of stalker adept metagame, well, if your first 2 shots of attacks are not going to do a lot, then you're in a little bit of trouble. As we see, Widowmine does drop health, we'll get 1 probe. So again, I mean, finally getting some damage done. He's still got 1 alive in there as well, so Widowmine's not super successful as Harstem just goes up to 3 bases, begins to saturate. He'll clean out that mine, no problem. And I mean, he's got charge on the way up, which is probably more interesting than anything else we're seeing right now, because charge is not a super common thing to go for at this sort of stage. Yeah,
but Harstem does it, and he did it against Lillikin as well. And it was really effective, I have to say. So from that perspective, I think it definitely works. But the thing that charge does is that it forces your zealots to get within usually siege tank range or something along those lines. Here comes the Widowmine. I don't think Harstem sees it and is going to lose 2 probes instead of 1. Not disastrous by any means, but still mighty annoying.
I mean, at this point, like 3 kills on the 2 Widowmines is sort of pretty decent actually, because with these first 2 Widowmines, generally what you look for is a lot of scouting, which you obviously felt as though he had anyways, and maybe like 1 probe per Widowmine, because that's just how good Protoss players are deflecting this now. They send 1 probe in to take the shots, so they get back to mine straight away, and then it gets cleaned up. So 3 probes is not so bad, and he keeps the medevac alive. He's actually going to get more workers killed. Oh, the overcharges in time!
Just
indeed it is. Wow, Harstem likes to push things to the limit. He's that kind of guy, isn't he?
Harstem is now aware of the army of Optimus that is moving across the map. This is a typical timing for this build. Harstem, what he needs are Archons, a few Immortals, and mostly charge slots. If you can those on top of the army and bridge the gap between the 2 armies, that's really the effective way you want to kill this. He's included 1 sentry. I'm not entirely sure what that is for.
Guardian Shield, I think.
It has to be Guardian Shield because there's no
Force Shield doesn't really do much at this point. Another thing is like engaging in a wide open area so that the tanks don't do as much damage, kind of splash in terms of splash damage, so you can get a better concave. Overcharge on the high ground. You can see Harstem on the minimap is sort of spreading out, down here, like in a big concave, ready to come in from maybe up on the high, from the 3rd base and from the right side as well. He's actually going to go in as the tanks are pretty exposed over here, so they're going to go down pretty quickly, and that's huge because the bio is not really helping protect these tanks at all. So it's a great engagement by Harstem as he runs on through. You can see Optimus just wants to get out of there, but he's losing so much. He wasn't expecting Harstem to come in from that angle, and that's going to cost him. His medevac here will go down as well. These 2 medevacs with units inside stay alive at least.
Yeah, he's not going to lose these medevacs. So he's kept the brunt of his forces there. What I really felt about that push was that Optimus's tanks were not, they were very open wide from 1 flank. If he had let those hug the left side wall, there wouldn't have been as much of an easy flank for Harstem, but Optimus' army would have been positioned against the wall and had pretty much nowhere to go. So it's a bit of a double-sided edge where to go, what to decide.
Robo Bay comes on down in the natural expansion, a pretty standard transition nowadays going towards Colossus. It's really being kind of accepted in the metagame. The Colossi are kind of what you're going for right now in PvT. It's been such an interesting year in this matchup. We've seen so many different things. Optimus doesn't really want to fight here for too long.
Yeah, it's the
even just Harstem really, like neither of them do, I don't think. Like it's really hard to say who'd actually come out ahead. But now Optimus can't attack through this position either, so it's a bit awkward. Drop to the top left side, might just be what kind of pulls Harstem's army away.
This is good
Depends
from
what he has on the
Optimus.
third base. So Zealot, if he's okay, yeah.
Oh, there is
he
an
has
army
so
here.
much, yeah. He's fine. Like,
Whoa.
Optimus can't attack through the south, and he's got plenty here as well. Bit of a rough blink in. He gets a medevac, but I guess it turns out okay in the end. Again, these liberators will actually push through, but Harstem's brought the time down to the south side anyway.
If Optimus does not do significant damage to Harstem's economy here, this will just basically be game over. He has a slow push.
Completely all
But
in.
there's so much Protoss army. Still, supply is kind of equal. Army supply is actually in favor of Optimus. So Harstem, he really needs to be careful of how he engages, because as we all know, engaging under Liberators not always the best decision. And this is exactly the thing that almost cost Harstem the game in Game 3 against Linnekanen. Good trade so far from Harstem, from Optimus. Good focus firing as well, which is just so important when you do pushes like this. And he's got a bit of bio now inside the base, but it doesn't really do anything. It seems a bit trapped actually. Yeah, it's going to evacuate it out.
Yeah, it's evacuate out. The thing is, Harstem was maybe a bit too aggressive there, but he's still not kind of over-engaging, right? You know, he's still sitting back. I'm intrigued by the lack of anti-air. Like, he has no stalkers.
This just keeps happening. He keeps taking damage from the Liberators and from the siege tanks. Optimus, look at the minimap. He's got a huge stream of units pushing forward, along with more bio and tanks. So this army will keep growing. Harstem does seem to be catching up slightly. Oh, you can't lose this Colossus. He needs this Colossus to win the fight.
He really, really needs it. These Marauders are going to chase quite hard. The Blink to try and block them, but the Colossus can't get far enough away, so it goes down. Well, I mean, the problem is this gets better and better for Optimus. Like, more tanks come in. What's Harstem really, in a way, what's he waiting for? Well, he's waiting because he doesn't want to attack into this. He's sort of waiting and hoping his better economy pulls ahead, but like, he's just not been doing that much. A single Zealot across the map won't do a lot either, and Dark Shrine comes down. I mean, so long until DTs can actually come into this game, though.
Such good control in this spot from Optimus. You cannot overextend your bio in situations like this too much. You need a systematic setup with Liberators, but there is a flanker up here, and Harstem is going to try and use it. He's flanking from both sides, sending in charge lots. There is still a lot of Immortals taking down all of these tanks, and the flank seems to be working, but I'm not sure if there is enough here to fight off this bio, and these Liberators are still doing so much damage.
He needs more Stalkers. Like, why doesn't he have more Stalkers? Like, he went into this with 5 Stalkers in the first place. He went in because he saw the Liberators were a little bit kind of unsieged in a bad spot. These Immortals are going to go and deal with reinforcements, which is actually pretty nice. They're doing a pretty good job of it, but they're sort of stuck over here as the Liberators move in. They're going to have to go to the other side. They've started a journey which they can't really go back on, so but they don't really want to complete either. They're sort of stuck in the middle.
Well, this is awkward. You know, you've got these Immortals which are really good at killing the Marauders that are killing your Stalkers, but what do you actually do with them?
I mean, it is really weird, but as more Stalkers come in, as more Stalkers come in, here we go. There's the graphs coming in. Our observer has learned well. He's showing us how good an income advantage Harstem is in, which allows him to trade kind of a little bit ineffectively, which I guess is what he's been doing throughout so far for some resources lost. Man, these Liberators, they really want to kill these Immortals. The Immortals, though, they're going to get in range of the Stalkers, which means the Stalkers save the day. But they're still stuck here, like Concussive Shells is catching them. You're going to see another Immortal going to go down here at the front. Pops down and Stalkers trade.
And then taking out those Liberators is really what has crushed the backbone of this fight. I think he can just blink forward, snipe the tank. Charge Lot cannot get past the Stalkers, but it doesn't seem to be all that necessary. He's just going to blink forward even further and crush this push. So Harstem takes game number 1 against Optimus.
GG. That was really kind of the patient game, right? Where he had to know he had to wait and wait and wait till he saw the right opportunity. You engage into that wrong, boom, you lose the game. Like, you saw how close it was when he took a good engagement. He avoided all of the liberation zones apart from one which he shot down instantly.
Yes.
The one thing I wonder is, like, he invested into a lot of Zealots and not many Stalkers, which obviously is nice because the Zealots did a lot on the ground, but it meant that he could really struggle to get rid of the Liberators, right, for a long, long time. So it was a bit of an interesting way to start things off. But it worked. I mean, it worked out. It was just, I feel as though maybe Optimus could have been a bit more aggressive. Like, I know he has to slow push, but the slow pushing, and the slow pushing where you're consistently still moving forwards, right, and gaining ground, it felt as though he could have done a bit more of that, maybe.
True.
A tough one.
What I really liked about this game was the fact that this is the 3rd time this tournament that we've seen Harstem go up against this build, and he got consistently better against it. You know, the first time he just lost against it straight up, was no contest. Second time was a very close, long game that dragged out, but he ended up winning it in the end. And this was a clean win. So I don't think this is a build we will see Optimus try again against Harstem, because he's been, you know, just going on the ropes against it, and Harstem just knows how to deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things you learn, you adapt. That's what makes you a great player. Like, the difference between a lot of players in StarCraft 2 is some players will come to events and they've got a few builds per matchup, and they run with them, and it gets them pretty far because they're well executed. But once you're becoming a bit too predictable, people know what to do against you, and people can adapt. And the best players in the world will adapt during a game
Yes.
to what's going on. And as you go down, like players adapt game to game, or after a season, things like that. So being able to adapt is a big thing, and that's what Harstem is so good at. And he's already shown us that throughout the day. So let's see what happens as we jump into game number 2 of this best of 5 series. It's going to be... Oh, he's figured it out on his own. The Observer is learning as well. He's adapting game by game. Is he a pro StarCraft player? He should be. I bet he's in GM. I bet he's top 50.
All right.
Secretly snoozing. All right. Well, top left side of the map is Harstem, the beautiful man we just got to see. Nice little over-the-shoulder shot of.
And his opponent in the bottom left of Frost, representing AT Gaming, he is Optimus.
What do you think the final score in this series is going to be? I want to hear your prediction.
My predictions. Well, I predicted definitely Harstem to win.
Sure.
And honestly, I think Optimus should be able to take a game, so I'm going for 3-1.
3-1? Yeah, I think that's a pretty reasonable scoreline. Optimus has been playing really well lately. I know Harstem's been playing really well lately. He's only won a couple tournaments this year, as we mentioned already. But Optimus has been getting better and better in terms of he's just one of these players who's starting to put a bit more time into the game as he's finished studying or whatever. And he's just able now to really show how good he can be if he practices as much as everyone else has been for the past few years.
It's always very easy with Optimus to draw a parallel with Euthermal. Euthermal, when he first started out at the highest level, was definitely a player who would, from time to time show that he was not as strong mentally as he is now, and has definitely grown ever since. I think for Optimus right now is definitely the time to be going through somewhat of a similar phase, because we saw what he did for Euthermal. He already had fantastic micro control, but things like decision making and just staying focused mentally would be something that would just let him down from time to time at the worst moments.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool because I remember casting Season 2 of the SC2 Improved Team League, which was we're talking long time ago. I think it was Season 2 anyways. I'm pretty sure it was Season 2.
What year?
So I ran the first Team League season at start so it must have been 2013-ish.
Oh, okay.
First half of 2013. Just casual AT gaming in the grand finals, and everyone's man, this is going to come down to Euthermal versus all these players. Maybe AT can kick a map or two first. Optimus just casually all kills Vega Squadron, who at the time had Live Zerg on their team, who was WCS round of 32. And WCS was super competitive back then because it was in Europe, right, as well. So he was really good, and Optimus comes out and all kills this team, and since then, just seen Optimus getting better and better. It's been absolutely crazy to watch this guy develop. Harstem as well, obviously. We came in watching Harstem win DSCL through to winning international tournaments. Yeah, Home Story Cup, GPL, as we've said multiple times already. Just because it's such an incredible story. These Dutch players, man, nothing stops them. Nothing stops them. They just get better and better. The year of the Dutch this has been. 3 international tournament wins.
I'm definitely agree with you that the Dutch have never been performing as well as we have now. I mean, looking at other great Dutch players, winning tournaments was always the big thing that didn't happen. We see an Oracle build now actually coming out of Harstem. They're relatively, they're not that close by air, but close enough for him to fly in and immediately start doing damage to the natural. But there is a Widow Mine on the way for Optimus, so if he doesn't actually go for a drop, which he probably will, he could use that defensively, but he's probably going to defend the regular way with an engineering bay into a turret.
Yeah, I mean, the Widow Mine will... It sort of depends if he feels as though there's going to be... He might actually just drop the Marines because he doesn't know what it is. / he suspects a Stargate, so he'll just drop the Marines and leave the Widow Mines at home. It's quite a cool little adaptation based on what he thinks this is right now. The Medevac and Oracle will pass by, but not close enough to see each other. Let's see if Harstem's paying attention. He loves this Stargate build, so he should know about the threat of the Widow Mine.
I'm not sure what tipped him off to the Oracle. I think he definitely senses something.
It might just be his lack of scouting, so this is the safer way to play just in case. Harstem knows that Oracle. I was about to say he knows that Widow Mine's there because he saw it talking, but I think he just messed up there. He knew, he was trying to stay super far away, but he just misjudged it, so... That's quite big, obviously. I mean, now Optimus can start attacking this third base. And this is kind of tough because actually this third Nexus doesn't have a pylon next to it. It doesn't have an overcharge.
Yeah.
Units will have to come forwards here, but does he have enough units to really fight? Well, a medevac of
couple
these
of
Marines can actually fight this number of adepts quite easily if he targets fires them.
Oh.
Okay, or not.
He doesn't agree.
Just leave then, Optimus. It's fine.
So the thing about that Oracle is, if it stays alive, it forces the Terran mostly to stay home and defend. Oh, second wind mine just gets picked up. Wow, nice control there.
It's going to go from the Phoenix, which gets it pretty low, which means it's more targetable later.
But he's going to kill the medevac.
Yeah, this is nice. He's going to be able to chase that down. The Oracle's there for detection. We're going to see Marines back in the main base, though. A couple of adepts warping in, and more of them in position. Harstem, he knew about the threat of this medevac kind of coming around a different angle.
This is fine. He can actually start attacking the third again if he wants to.
He could do, but I think he's scared of the Phoenix because he knows if he sticks around too long, and if Adepts and Phoenix show up together, this medevac's in a lot of trouble, right? So he's doing the smart thing, which is backing off a little bit, keeping it nearby, because as soon as he sees the Phoenix on the map, he might attack in or something along those lines. So he's keeping his option there, but he doesn't want it to be super easily found.
Yeah, he wants to keep this push alive because he's going to strengthen it with a Liberator, which is going to make the air battle a lot easier for him, as well as the ground battle, because, well, Liberators can attack both, except not in the same way. He's now adding on a Raven, and I was actually expecting Harstem to continue making Phoenixes, but he's transitioning once again into a Twilight Council and a Robo facility. So this could just be a standard Immortal, Archon-ish build.
Super standard, I think. Let's see what upgrade he goes for first here. I mean, when you have Phoenix, it's generally Glaives, but he hasn't made enough Phoenix for that to kind of really be kind of true. So he might just go Blink if he wants to like just defend a lot. It really depends, like, because he has a lot of Adepts, so Glaives can make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He has options basically based on how he wants to play. He's adding a lot of gateways, and there is the Glaives coming up, so he is going to commit into this. It does make sense, you know, he's got a lot of Adepts, as we mentioned. It really improves how much they do. And if he's looking to play like Stalker Adept in the mid game anyway, then the Glaive is going to benefit him more right now because he already has Phoenix to chase away drops to some extent. So it means you don't necessarily need Blink to be as safe as early.
Yeah, it's just one Phoenix though. Like I mentioned, I was expecting him to make like more, or just commit to a really Phoenix army, use that in big battles. But he's chrono boosting it, but I'm not sure why. Anyway, he just, Harstem is definitely in a good economic position. Like, he's got 50 more workers. He's losing a couple as we speak to these to this Liberator, who's currently spreading freedom throughout the Protoss base. Picking up a couple more probes here. Doing a good job, but Harstem is in good position to defend both of them, actually. So no real harm done.
It's one of those moments where you always see the Terran player like be like, right, I'm going to set this Liberator, and then just like nothing, like, you know, kill some mining time. It's like, maybe that Liberator would have been better left in your army. Yet you still see Terran players doing it. They feel like kind of little lost mine time. It's super worthwhile. I mean, as well, you never know. Like, you obviously wanted to distract in one place, hit the other, but it was just really good. Yeah, man. You predict it's going to get killed.
Oh, 2 Artosis pylons.
It's actually like, in a way, they're like super safe pylons in a way. The one in the middle is anyway, the one that's like more central on the base. PSCV's going down. I think the Oracle just flew in there towards the third base, so little bits and pieces. Terran plays about to hit Stim and Combat Shield, so as that happens, he becomes super powerful, but I mean, Harstem's got everything he needs to defend. +1, Resonating Glaives, first Colossus on the way up. He should be pretty good here. Maybe like 1 or 2 extra sentries to drop a couple more force fields to protect the first Colossus, like initially, when the Terran might dive on it. But other than that, like, he's looking really good right now. And with Glaives, maybe he won't die, because that's a lot of damage the Adepts can put out onto a Terran army. Interesting that Harstem goes armor first, I guess. Armor versus attack. I mean, Colossi generally prefer attack upgrades, which is why he dropped the second forge rather than sticking on one. The armor will really allow the Adepts in the front to be super tanky, though, which is important, because if your Adepts will just disappear, and then, guess what? They don't exist anymore.
Which upgrade is that again?
That's Advanced Ballistics, the Liberator range.
Oh, it's Liberator. I was thinking...
So,
okay.
The way this will play out from Optimus' point of view with this super fast Liberator range is he wants to play a super passive defensive game. Like, he's already making a lot of Liberators. So one of two things. He's going to play super defensive and like drop around a lot for a while. When that finishes, which is quite a long upgrade, he will make one super powerful push and really push quite slowly, but he has to be careful of counterattacks. So
both players are just heavily playing the macro game at this point, just going for sick upgrades. They've both ramped up their production. 3 Liberators being produced at the same time. Looks like Optimus is really going to be banking on the power of the Liberator to really strengthen his army in fights like that. Against Colossus, well, it really just depends on positioning. Liberators can kill Colossi really quickly, of course, if they want to. But the question is just, how is your army positioned? Like, can you prevent Stalkers from blinking on your Liberator? This is cute. This is Rijn just shooting this. Okay, now it goes away.
It's like, man, I don't care what the guy tells me to do. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Does he realize I actually take damage?
What's this Colossus doing?
Man, these Protoss units have minds of their own right now. Like, Phoenix is just like chilling out over a Marine. Colossus wants to see what's up in the bottom left. I wonder if the fast Liberator range is a response to the positions on the map, like, because Optimus can, as he's about to do right now, he's pushing up the left-hand side. But look at this, Harstem comes down the center, so Optimus has to return, and this is going to be a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
Just because his Liberators aren't initially going to be in position, so that gives Harstem a
this
chance
is
to
cute.
jump on the army. A little bit of a depth harassment in the natural. Look how many Liberators there are though, and we see immediately Harstem with Disruptors. That's a way for him to kind of push back the bio, so that he can sort of blink towards onto those Liberators a bit more easily when the engagement comes around. Other than that, see these devs still just shading around. Other than that, like the fleet beacon, yeah, that's... God damn it, Harstem, stop taking away everything I want to say! Like, you know, going into like Tempest is obviously the next stage of this because you need something to deal with those Liberators. 4 to 6, boom, you can stalker them, blink under them, whatever. Past that, it's just so many. You cannot engage without Tempest slowly picking away.
Honestly, I think Harstem is just completely on point in this game. Like, Optimus has really not been able to do anything against him, whereas Harstem is now comfortably on 4 bases, and he's, you know, knocking on Optimus's door, trying to pressure him, trying to prevent him from taking a 4th. Whereas Optimus is just like, well, I'm going to build 20 Liberators and win this game.
I think the thing is, Harstem really wanted to kind of stop Optimus from pushing up the left side, and that's why he took this 4th base to the top right as well, so the push up the left wouldn't be as effective. So now Optimus sort of like, again, he's like sat defensively taking a 4, but where's any of his activity on the map? You know, why doesn't he have at least one medevac dropping around, trying to see any openings, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I know
He
he's
just
only
wants
got
to
a
play
few,
macro,
but
it seems.
yeah, I mean, sure, but like, why not look to like utilize the multitasking that we know Optimus has? You know, why sit there with everything? He doesn't need all of this bio to defend these fewer depths. You know, he doesn't need this bio to make the Liberators scary enough for Harstem not to push forwards. As Harstem sees an opportunity to blink, the Disruptor as well, and that means the Stalkers can keep moving forwards too as he backs away a little bit.
Does he smell blood here? Okay, there's 3 Colossi. You don't want to over-engage.
Another Disruptor shot. He splits away. Hits a couple of Marauders. Harstem's playing this well.
He's only got 3 medefacts, by the way. They're full of energy, but still, when you have to heal like a full bio army, that takes a while. He's going to slow push across the map, but this will allow Harstem to flank from the other side with so this is so annoying as a Terran. You know, you got Adepts and DTs heading towards your 3rd. You better have some units there to back it up, but that is not the case.
Harstem again. You see what he's doing with the Disruptors? He's pushing the bio back long enough so you can bring the Stalkers forward to kill a Liberator and then get away like super quickly. Oh my god, this mineral line disappears! Harstem's harassment so good here. And it's been so good throughout the game as he takes a big engagement right now as well. Again, the Disruptor pushback, blinks forward, gets a Liberator, backs away once more. Harstem has the economy to do this, but Optimus doesn't have the economy to stay in this much longer. 30 SCVs to 75 probes. And it's going to be seen now. Stalkers once again coming in from a different angle, backing away. Tempest slowly picking out the Liberators. Also, things are not looking good at all for Optimus. He's just slowly falling apart at home, on the map. He's not doing anything to slow Harstem down. He's just allowing Harstem to really control the pace of the last few moments. 2 more Liberators going down. Harstem is just playing this out beautifully.
And Harstem is just picking Optimus apart at this point. Like, Optimus has all the tools to keep his opponent at range, but it just doesn't seem to happen. And Harstem optimally using Blink to dodge all of the Liberators, dodge all of the siege tank shots, and keeps darting back and forth to actually avoid this main engagement. It's just doing such a good job. And adding in 2 Disruptors, at least 1 at a time, is really giving him such an edge because it just allows him to control the flow of the Terran army. Might want to get out of his liberation zones.
Yeah, he has to be a little bit cautious right here.
Look at the
Harstem is added in. You know you're in a good position when you just casually add 10 gateways into the game.
Yeah.
You know, like BRB, adding 10 gates, just doubling my production.
I've got a 3k bank, better spend it on something.
I was like, okay, I'm going to kill a bunch of stuff, and Harstem's like, BRB, 20 Adepts in your main base.
Oh man, these Tempests are just wrecking all of the Liberators, and I think Optimus is currently at the point where he realizes...
Oh man, last minute splits are saving the day right now as Harstem's pushed all the way back, but he's got so many Tempests the Liberators die so quickly, which means they're not going to add that much damage, and the Colossi in the back are doing so much, and the warping of DTs is going to be swiping away. GG!
GG indeed.
Harstem looks so good here in game number 2.
Yeah, that was just completely solid. Like, I predicted the 3-1, but I might have to correct this prediction depending on how the next game is going to go, of course. Very solid play by Harstem. Like, I don't think he did anything wrong in that game. Like, he controlled his units almost perfectly. His build was just very, it was greedy in the right way. He manages to stay ahead economically and not make any mistakes in army. And of course, whenever he saw an opportunity where he could do damage to Optimus's economy, he did it. And at the end, you notice your opponent just has 50 less supply, and then you take a fight like this with Tempest and a perfect counter to your opponent's composition, and bam. Really well played.
Solid execution, solid play. Harstem all over, really. You know, solid macro games. Knows what he wants to do. Knows how he's going to play it. Always has an answer. You know, we said, you know, once there's more than like 4-6 Liberators, you need something more. And he had the fleet beacon on the way at that point. He was ready to go into that switch. And he's just not being caught off guard by anything Optimus is doing. And
not at
Optimus,
all.
he's tried two different ways of playing. Obviously, like the 2-base all in. He's now tried like a 3-base macro game, heavy Liberator play.
Yeah.
And every single time Optimus tries to do something, Harstem's just like either, okay, I'm going to sit back and wait because you want me to attack into you, or he's like, well, I'm going to counterattack and not let you attack because that's what you want to do. Like, he always has an answer.
It's almost the highest level of play that you can imagine. Like, you, instead of being the one that insists on dictating the game in an arbitrary way because you've come up with a play for a certain map for a certain opponent, you just respond to the way your opponent plays, and just you. I think there's a kung fu way to describe it. Like, be like water, be the one that flows and molds to your opponent's moves.
Don't disable the sound. We want to hear the probes. Oh, he's learning though. He just forgot the control. Whoa, 5-0! Optimus, what a turnaround! I'm sorry, Observe. I'm giving you a hard time. You're beautiful. You're so beautiful. No, not quite.
Almost.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, take us away, man.
All right. Here in the bottom right, we have the blue Protoss. He is Harstem. The red Protoss is Harstem.
All right. I know there's at least some people in the crowd who want this guy up here to at least take a game. It's time to channel your energy. Let's hear it for Optimus. Wow. Well, I went. That was lucky, wasn't it?
Did
like,
pretty well,
I
right?
believe someone out there is dead silent. Everyone's like, no, we all want Harstem to win instead.
Your intro still went better than mine.
They all just really care about us, and they just wanted Optimus to take a game so we look smart.
Oh,
That's
you're
all
right.
it is.
Yep. They don't want our predictions to go to waste.
They do not. Probe into the main, having a little bit of a scoot around, see what's up, see what's happening.
Yeah, season
Look,
early gas.
Oh my god, a command center.
Whatever shall we do?
So this is just Rax gas. So this is just going to be straight up River expand, which is interesting because a lot of the builds nowadays go gas Rax because it gives the factory a much better timing.
That was close.
Yeah, Optimus, too good. He's not going to lose this SCV.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Please don't lose this SCV. Yeah.
Okay, he gets a repair off.
Sickest repair ever, that micro. But I mean, this is just like a very standard, not even, okay. So what this is, it's not a Reaper expand to Marine, which means he will get a very fast factory still after the command center. So it's a bit of a different way of playing.
Oh, and Harstem sees it immediately. Very good scout here by him.
And what might happen here with these Marines is, with a lot of Marines early, it means you can put on a lot of pressure. So something like a Cyclone-based follow-up where you attack across the map with like Medevac, Marine, Cyclone. Could be very interesting.
It's kind of
Maybe
proxy
factory. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, he's actually making a second Rax though, so I think this is just hiding.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is very different. I didn't expect this at all. I mean, I said at the start in game 1, bio-based openings aren't super common. So what he might try and do...
Something cheesy?
Well, you can say
not
cheesy.
really, right?
It's just different because no one expects you to hit with Stim and like loads of Marines. He is going to proxy factory. Okay, I'm just give up.
Yeah, let's go home.
But I mean, I sort of thought he might make like a tech lab and then like Stim and sort of like attack like with 20 Marines and Stim and like kind of catch Harstem off guard, you know? Didn't expect the factory proxied. What? I'm trying to think of ways this could work. Maybe he like goes proxy with a mine and attacks and then...
Oh, come on, he's actually going to scout it? That's insane.
That's really nice. The thing is, he'll see this and he'll know that this isn't like a super fast factory.
Is he going to cancel the factory, you think? He might just lift it.
I think he'll let it finish because he'll still get whatever
This
units
is
out
like,
he wants out.
Come on, this is heartbreaking if you're Optimus.
He is going to get
like,
it finished, right?
Oh, this is heartbreaking.
Oh, no, that's so brutal. Okay, that is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I think he has to change his game plan now. Like, Tech Lab comes down. I really don't know.
He was already starting restarting the factory in his game.
I really don't know what exactly his original plan was overall with the proxy factory and 2 racks.
Yeah.
But whatever it was, not happening. Dark Shrine. Yeah.
DT drop, probably into Archons.
Yeah, I mean,
This
4 DTs are super good right now.
Yeah.
And you can Archon drop as well. It's not super common for the Archon phase to come in against Terran. More so you maybe try and keep the DTs alive to like harass elsewhere.
Did they give DTs blink, by the way?
They do, but only if you have research.
Yeah, I was thinking like...
Is Harstem going to research DT blink?
Yeah.
That would be almost BM with how bad a build it is. I mean, yeah, Optimus is going super fast. I mean, he's just going to go like super fast like Stim drop, but that's obviously not what he originally wanted to do. Like, maybe he wanted to go super fast Stim drop with like proxy Widow Mines to do a bit of damage initially and put Harstem off so the Stim drop timing does like that little bit more. But yeah, Harstem Scout, he's not taking any risks. He wants to go to this finals and obviously win the entire thing, I think is pretty obvious.
Let's not forget that like getting that factory cancelled has such a huge impact on the build that Optimus was going to do. So any real aggression from him, I'm just not seeing it happen. And it looks like Harstem is, well, you can respond in two ways to that. I was going to say you could be the one that actually decides to be aggressive because you've taken back the initiative, or you sit back and you make sure you get a better economy. But he's going to do both. He's going to be aggressive, he's going to prevent Optimus from moving out on the map, and he's going to use that to his economic advantage. Here come 2 DTs. 3
yeah,
DTs.
The DTs just mean that Optimus has to spend so much time defending at home so that the third base can come up no problem at all. One DT to the natural. Is the turrets per structures?
He had an engineering bay and he's making
a turret now. But he doesn't have one in the natural, and he doesn't have it. So he's got like 1 scan maybe.
No scan here?
Yeah, no scan here, but maybe in the main. But
yeah,
then
there should be one in main soon.
Right? But like only 2 scans, like it's not really enough. And Optimus, oh, that's nice. He's gonna keep the turret alive. DT has to swipe through many units to get there.
How's it going in the main though?
A couple of workers, not too much else.
Oh, he gets the scan off finally. Loses a few
DTs though. This is so annoying. Like,
is this how it's gonna end for Optimus? DT
I don't
drops.
think he's going to die to this, but I mean, it's just kind of general damage, right? Like, he loses a depot here.
I mean,
he will finish these turrets up, but it's still super frustrating. Like, 6 SCVs going down, 5, sorry, can't read. 5 SCVs going down, still 1 DT alive, I think. Maybe 1 more at the front. And there's a scan.
Yeah.
It's good damage, you know. He's taking a 12 worker lead. His third next is set up behind this. This DT on the low ground still around until it walks into the scan. He doesn't like life, apparently. Yeah, I mean, it's just good damage by Harstem, and you've got to admit, like, he goes into a good position with this. Optimus hasn't been able to do anything for multiple minutes now, whereas he would have wanted to.
Yeah, this is the whole game plan, I think, of this move. You know, you're not going in there to actually win the game. You're going into the delay this particular drop that Optimus was doing so that Harstem can actually safely establish the third base and defend it against this drop. He's actually going for +1 upgrades and +1 attack at this stage, so I think he feels very safe against this drop that is about to depart for third base. And I don't think Optimus was really anticipating the build. If this gets smashed, he might just decide to... No, okay, he's going to keep... just going to pick up and drop on the other side of the rim, but this attack has been held. Are there any DTs left? I don't think so.
No, not on the top left side of the map at least, so... I mean, Optimus gets a few moments, he adds on a few racks, combat starts coming up. I mean, he's got all the upgrades to start doing stuff, it's just he's been slowed down so much he doesn't have army to make anything valuable, right? Like, you know, his army supply is somewhat even, which... with what he's doing is not really very good, honestly. Like, yeah, the upgrades are nice, but Harstem just has plenty of units. With overcharges available as well.
Yeah, he's just so far behind. Like, Harstem cancelling that factory is just put him back like more than a minute in his initial build.
So much, because it slows down the starport and everything. And then the DTs like hold him back even more and do like a little bit of extra damage. Still a DT here now, just going to patrol.
Yeah, just for reinforcements.
I mean, the thing is, like, Optimus attacks across the map. We've got this interesting position on Frozen where getting up this ramp can be pretty difficult. So you'll siege the tank on the low ground to try and, you know, push his way, push the Protoss army back so he can get up without being force fielded.
No, this is.
But it's still like super slow away from the tank. I thought he had a tank in his army. He took it back home in the medevac.
Yeah,
why not?
I guess because if he were to be chased away from the base, he wouldn't get picked off or something.
I guess, but I mean, you can pick in the medevac and boost it home. I guess he just didn't really want to commit, so he just pulled back.
I haven't seen any Liberators, but he's made 2. At least he had 2 in production.
Keeping them at home, maybe? He did have 2 in production.
Oh,
right.
this... Okay, DT gets away. Gets picked off, sorry. Oh, there's the Liberators.
They're just hanging around at home, I guess.
I think this is just going to be one big push from Optimus, because there's not many other options. He has.
I think he went up to like 5 racks or so. He added a lot of racks on, so either way, he's in a very aggressive stage of the game, but going up against a Protoss player who's already ahead in army supply when you're trying to all in on 2 bases, and he's got 3 bases fully saturated. He's got even upgrades. He's about to get blinks, so his stalkers are going to be even better. He's got immortals. He's teching as well while still being ahead. It's going to be so difficult for Optimus to make something happen. He really needs to get really good he really needs Harstem to actually, I think, just mess up the fight. I think if Harstem engages semi-decently here, there's just no way that he can lose the fight. So
he's just got such a huge army, you know, it's a numbers game at this point. A bit of a stint forward, but I don't think this is really that intimidating towards Harstem. He can actually blink forward and snipe out one of the medevacs if he wants to.
Another Adept kind of moving in towards the natural expansion, just seeing what's up. These Adepts gonna, Zealots actually gonna load them into the waters. Harstem's been a big fan of the Zealots
charge,
today.
Right? I think he has charge.
Charge.
Yeah, look at the movement speed of the Zealots. He definitely has charge. So that's going to allow him to flank, you know, just perfectly from multiple angles. He's just going to let him set up here at the third base. And honestly, he doesn't even need to flank, but he's going to do it anyway. Blinks forward, really DTs, nice. Charge slot, everything, the whole shebang is crushing this bio army. And it looks like Harstem in a very decisive match, 3-0's Optimus, and goes on to the finals.
Wow, wow, wow. Harstem does not stop
Nope.
to think about Optimus's feelings. Shakes his hands. Optimus is laughing. Probably just thinking the dank memes. That's what Optimus does.
All right.
Keeps him happy.
Looks like we're going to go into a short winners interview here with Harstem and Frank.
Naast die van die list hier, die ook druk bezig is. Moet je... Yes, please. Oh, oké. Doen we dat. Yes, yes, yes. Ja, oh, we zijn er al. Oké, yes, oké. Je kan niet. Ja, sorry. Hey, even production value. Best goed ging het vandaag, maar je had ook games gedropt. Oh shit, I'm talking in Dutch. I think we should switch to English. So you dropped some games against Lillekanen in Zane earlier. This was 3-0 sweep. Did you need to get into the swing, or what's the thing?
Yeah, I guess. Earlier on I wasn't feeling too good. I was feeling a little hungry, a little tired, but now it's getting better. And I think I played pretty good games against Optimus now.
So are you having a good time? Because I think I saw you here with your is that your girlfriend was here?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, you were quite friendly. Okay, this is to further the tradition, the long tradition of awkward esports interviews. I think this rates very high among the awkward esports interviews. So who do you think you'll be facing in the finals?
I would be surprised if it wouldn't be you, Thermal. I think he's the clear favorite, and I'm looking forward to playing him again. So we played a lot in the past, we played a lot this year already. So it's always fun games, and I hope it will be as well this time.
Would you say that the only reason he won last year was because you weren't there?
Some people say that, yeah. I wouldn't want to strengthen that rumor, but yeah, that's the rumor on the street pretty much.
All right, pretty cool. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the finals, of course. Congratulations. I think we're going to go back to the casters, and I think it's, yep, Wardy's already switched for Loco there. Loco Wyman, you guys take it away. We're going to go straight into the second semi-final, which is Thermal. He's getting ready. Yes, he is. Versus Lillekanen, who is not at his seat yet. But we're going to go right into it.
All right, guys, welcome back.